So today we're going to learn how to replace a sink faucet. Step 1, remove the cats. Now you may need to do this more than once throughout the process. Step 2 is turning off the water valves. So you'll want to do this for your hot and your cold water valves. So starting with the hot. It may drip a little when you turn it off, so you'll want a rag handy just to wipe that up. We'll do the cold. Next, you're going to want to turn the knobs to release any pressure that's built up in the pipes. So just turn on your hot and your cold. Make sure you're not getting any water coming out. So it looks like we got a little bit of hot or cold. I don't know, I didn't see which one it was. So I'll just tighten those valves a little bit more. Okay. That looks good. The next step is going to be disconnecting these supply lines from the bottom of the faucet. Okay, so now we've got the supply lines disconnected. Now we are going to unscrew the mounting screws on the bottom of the faucet. So I had to use a pair of pliers because those plastic screws underneath the mounting brackets were actually really gummed up and I just couldn't get enough leverage. So if you're having any issues, just grab a pair of pliers. So we seem to have some constant water drippage coming out of our connecting lines, which means that these valves down here probably are kind of old and not completely working. Alright, so the faucet should be loose now and ready to lift up out of the sink, and then we can get the new one in place. Okay, so now we should be able to just lift this straight up and it'll come right out of the sink. There we go. Now there's going to be a bunch of crud underneath where the faucet was at that you're going to have to clean up from just years of sitting there. So this stuff right here is being a little difficult to get up. So I'm gonna try a razor blade and just be very careful not to scratch the sink. I'm sure there's a better way to do this, but this is what I'm gonna try. Alright, so we're all cleaned up now, and looks like we are ready to put the new faucet on. So let's open her up, take a look. Here we are. So that's going to be the faucet we're replacing it with. And they also give you some hose accessories in there. Oh. Okay, I guess we'll replace that while we're at it. Okay, this is going to be mounted underneath the faucet to give it kind of a nice tight fit. So you can just drop it right in now. Just double check that your little plastic or rubber gasket that goes underneath is sitting how it should. So the faucet's looking good now, and you might have noticed before that we do not or did not have a cover for the sinkhole. I did not know that this came with one, so we will figure out how to replace that while we're here. So this one operates pretty simply. They give you these 3 pieces in the package, and this little socket goes right into here, into that hole. Got some clips on it. And so then when it's underneath the drain like this arm will attach to whichever position you need it. And then when you push down, it lifts up, pull up. So it's pretty simple. We just have to figure out how to actually attach the piping. So what we're going to do now is disconnect this screw here, and there might be water running throughout this pipe, sitting at the bottom of this U here, sitting all the way up to here. So you are just going to want to get some kind of pan to go underneath to catch that water. So what I actually had to do was unscrew the top circular ring. Once I got it to that point where it was stuck underneath, I unscrewed the top ring, and there was just a couple threads, and then it came off, so that loosened up the bottom piping. Now in order for this pipe to fit in place of the old one, which would be right about there, we're going to have to see if the bottom of this new pipe is going to fit inside this little PVC adapter here. Now this might be different for your situation. The piping might be different. It might fit directly into your bottom bracket here, or you might have an adapter that it fits into. This looks like it might be a little bit too big for this adapter, but hopefully not. Well, there we go. So now we have to remove this green pipe. So we're going to need to take off this little gasket here that was underneath this. That's going to give us a watertight seal, and we're going to need to put that onto the new pipe as well. So we can get rid of this one now and replace it with the new one. Boom! Fits like a glove. So I think this pipe is going to work for us to get to that adapter, so we should be all set from here. So after a little bit of thinking, the easiest way that we're going to be able to get this new pipe onto this little U-bend here is to actually disconnect the U-bend right there, put it on, and then lift this U-bend up from the top and just screw it back onto there. So that's what we're going to do now, is put this onto the U-bend here, and then once that's all assembled, we'll lift the U-bend up and attach it right there. There we go. So we've got our whole assembly there. We've got our sink cover lever facing the back, which is how we want it. And we can go ahead and thread this on to the piping again. Okay, so we have the new pipe on attached to our little adapter here to go to our U-bend. We have our plug hole facing the back so that we can put our stopper in. Let's go ahead and do that now. So this is what it looks like from the top. We have our pipe that we're going to thread our sinkhole cover and stopper onto. We'll just take it, drop it straight in, and then you can just twist, and it'll thread onto that piping. Okay, so I've got this hand tightened as much as I can, but you can see that is not watertight. That's still loose. So what you have to do from here is come back under the sink, and then there is this screw right here that you tighten, and it'll push this little rubber stopper up against the sink and pull those two pieces together. It'll shrink them down like that so that it's an airtight or watertight fit on both sides. And as I tighten this, the top is getting much, much tighter. So that's about as tight as I can get it, and it is not moving at all anymore. However, you can see that our stopper is now facing the front. So we're gonna have to turn that back around. Tighten up a little bit more again. Make sure you keep that stopper hole facing the back so that we can put on the stopper bar to move the stopper up and down. So let's put on the stopper bar now. So the way that the stopper works is you've got your little stopper bar that goes up into the top of the sink that you pull up and you push down. And so what that does is it connects into this little guy here, snaps in, and then you can adjust the level of where you need your connection bar going to it so that when you pull it up and down, it moves that lever up and down. Dropping the stopper bar down. There it goes. Now we need to connect that to here. And you'll hear it snap. So now we need to connect this to here. And we've got one more piece that's going to let us do that. And now this rod is going to go into here, and we need to make sure that it goes into the hole of our stopper. So we're going to put our stopper in to make sure that that hole faces that direction while it's in here, and that rod will go through this hole. So we've got our stopper in. This is really long. This is a problem. This is a big problem. This doesn't fit. Back to the drawing board. So what I've done is just lop off a little of the end of that rod that pulls it up and down. And it seems like it's just enough for it to fit in there. So we should be good. So once again, we have the stopper put into place. The hole is facing the back so that this rod will go into the hole. And we will put this on. And it's in. We'll feed this through. And you can adjust these holes depending on how high or low you want your pull lever to be. The lower you put it, the higher your pull level will be. The higher hole you use, the lower your pull lever will be. So I'm doing it kind of in the middle. Okay, so all we have left to do is connect these to the bottom of the faucet to secure them to the sink, and then connect the actual water lines back to the faucet, the hot and the cold. And then after that, we will make sure to tighten all of the connections that we've loosened up during this process, just because for right now they're just hand tightened to get them in place, but we'll want to make sure that they are watertight. So we're threading on our new sink screws to secure it to the sink. Alright, so we have all of the pipes put back together. We have them all hand tightened. But we're going to go through now and then just tighten every single piece of hardware that we loosened in any way with some pliers. You want to tighten them as much as you possibly can because you don't want any leaks. Once we're done tightening it, we'll go through and actually test it to make sure that we don't have any water leaks. Okay, so now we're going to go through and actually turn the water on and check to see if we've got any leaks. We will start with the hot. Looks good, don't see any leaks. Now we'll try the cold. Not seeing anything. Both sides seem good. No leaks. So now we're going to turn the water on and let it run for a few seconds, and then we'll see if we get any leaks coming out right here where the actual drain is connected. So let's do that. Yummy. Nothing. No leaks. Boom! Alright, we have a new functioning faucet. Not only that, but now we can stop the water. Perfect. So that's it. Hopefully that was pretty easy for you guys to follow. And I made some mistakes that hopefully you guys won't make because you saw them in this video. If you enjoyed watching this video, you found it helpful, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the page if you're interested in more videos like this. I've got a new one coming out every single week, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.